can't find nothing on the radio.
You ready, Steve?
Welcome to Songology. He's Bruce.
He's Richard.
And this is another episode from our Song of the Day archives.
Enjoy.
Welcome back, Bruce. We have the great artist who never made number one. Who's on for today?
Creedence Clearwater Revival, or as they are often known, simply CCR.
They never
Did
made
you know?
number one.
Exactly. Did you know that CCR got to number 2 on the Hot 100 5 times, but never got number 1?
Oh.
I'm sort of reminded of that bit that Red Buttons used to do on. Remember the old Dean Martin roasts, the celebrity roasts? And Red Buttons used to do this thing, never got a dinner.
Oh,
Never got a dinner. Well, see, CCR never got a number 1.
Never got number one.
So 5 number 2s, never number 1. So it started out as CCR, as John and Tom Fogerty, and then Stu Cook on bass and Doug Clifford on drums. But really, the guy who started CCR is, although we always think of John Fogerty as being the front man, really it's brother Tom that started it. He was in a band called Spider Web and the Insects, nice name, up until about 1959. That band broke up. And so he started his own band. Basically, he thought maybe he'd start a solo career, but he asked his little brother and his friends, could you guys back me up? They had been playing music. You guys back me up. I'll cut some demo records and so forth. And they decided they sounded pretty good. So they formed a band, and they were originally called Tommy Fogerty and the Blue Velvets. So that didn't work out very well. They cut 3 singles. All of them tanked. We changed the name again to The Visions, and that didn't work out. And they changed their name. Actually, the name was changed for them by their record label to the Gollywogs, because by that time the British invasion was in full swing, and Gollywogs are an English doll.
Right.
So, while trying to capitalize, make them sound British, so we'll call them the Gollywogs. And nope, flopped again. Now, while all this is going on, and they're not doing very well on the record front, they were actually making a name for themselves touring, and so they played gigs all over everywhere. But it actually led to a pretty fundamental change in the band, because oftentimes their equipment, particularly the PA system to do the vocals and so forth, was really poor. And Tom Fogerty's voice was not, his singing voice was not the strongest. And so as time went on, his voice got more and more strained, and he was having more and more difficulty singing. And so began that John would sub in for Tom, and then John ended up doing most of the vocals. They say that also that's why John Fogerty sounds like he sounds. Like half the time he sounds like he's shouting or screaming at the end of the mic.
Right.
And it's because of all that poor equipment that he had for all those years. He just got used to doing it that way. And he never did it any other way. So eventually, the record company said, look, you guys either got to do something really big, or we're going to drop you. The decision was made to sort of put John out front. John had been working on songwriting and so forth, and so they sort of made him the front man. They changed their name again one last time. Comes from a friend of Tom Fogerty's, whose name was Creedence Newball, a favorite beer of theirs, which was Clearwater beer, and the fact that what they were looking for was a revival of their fortunes. Hence Creedence Clearwater Revival. And from that point forward, they did pretty well. Unfortunately, they ended up breaking up, fighting about various things, and Tom left the band, and then the band broke up not that long after that. There was a whole long sea of litigation. Someday I'll get into that story. But before they did that, say 5 number 2 hits, including the song I'm going to play for you today is Bad Moon Rising.
Okay.
Now, this was actually got number 1 in the UK, but only number 2 in the U.S. charts. John wrote this inspired by a movie that he saw, The Devil and Daniel Webster, and in that movie, a hurricane wipes out most of a town, and that sort of got him thinking about that, and so that's where the line, I feel a hurricane a blow and I hope you're quite prepared to die, is that, that's where that came from, but it was basically kind of meant to be an apocalyptic song.
Yeah.
But it also contains that's why I couldn't resist it. It contains one of the classic misheard song lyrics of all time, because the line, there's a bad moon on the rise, has often been heard by people as, there's a bathroom on the right. And apparently there's a lot of people who sing it that way. And so much so that now and again, if he's in a sort of in a whimsical mood, even now apparently, if John Fogerty is performing this song, he will sometimes sing it that way and gesture, off to the, the one side of the auditorium. So he does have fun with it. Now, the other thing that I was going to mention to you is another little bizarre musical connection. There was a football player who spent one season, I think, in Toronto. You know how the Toronto Argonauts always bring in, either Toronto or Montreal always did this, bring in high-powered talent from the U.S.,
Yep.
mercenaries. Well, the Toronto Argos brought in Andre Rison, who was a Pro Bowl player at the twilight of his career. But during the days that he played in the NFL, he's notable for, among other things, he has caught touchdown passes for 7 different NFL teams. Part of the reason why I think he got shopped around the NFL was he was a bit of a difficult attitude case. At least that's his reputation. And he got the nickname Bad Moon Rison.
Yeah.
But the musical connection to Andre Bad Moon Rison is there was a girl group in the sort of late 90s and early part of the 2000s called TLC.
Yeah.
In that group was a girl by the name of Lisa Lopes or Lisa Left Eye. And she was Andre Rison's girlfriend. They got into a fight one night, which became really quite nasty, and ended by Lisa deciding that she was going to burn Andre's favorite sneakers. And so she doused them with lighter fluid and set them on fire. But as these things often happen, the fire was much more than anybody anticipated, at least that she anticipated. And it ended up burning down at the mansion where he was living. And so he lost all of his personal possessions as a result of that. So don't make that lady mad.
No.
No. So anyway, whether it's bathrooms or whether it's a bad moon, there's a bad moon on the rise.
As usual, I have to stop it right there while we work out the fair use rules on YouTube. This is our first week of Be My Number 2. Artists or bands never made it to the #1 spot on the Hot 100 list. As usual, please subscribe if you haven't already done so. You can visit us on Facebook or our website, Songology.ca. Now here's your chance to listen to the music or go on to the next episode. Or hear a dog bark.